Hello, and welcome back to class via video today. So, today we are going to go over hip hop and a couple different forms and styles of hip hop. I'm only going to touch on a couple of them. There are a lot of different styles of hip hop, but we are just going to touch on a few of them. So, first, a brief history of hip hop. It was established in the 1970s in New York City. This is where it originated. It started later in time, again, 1970s. It's only 50-ish years ago. It was developed from African dance. So here we go again. African dance has influenced the development of hip hop. The rhythms from African dance, as well as the groundedness. The rhythms and the groundedness both come from African dance, and they are a part of hip hop as well. Music and dance both developed at a parallel time. So the music of hip hop music and hip hop dance were both developing at the same time, pretty much together. They were both influencing one another for, music was influencing the movement was influencing the types of music and the development of music. So they were working together, both music and dance. There's many, many different styles of hip hop. I am only touching on a few. There are so many different styles of hip hop out there. A lot of them are related in some way, shape, or form, but there are some distinct differences, and I'm going to explain some of those distinct differences among some of the most popular forms of hip hop. Because it's continuing to develop even today. There's new styles being added. There's new movements being added. We're seeing a development in dance always. It's ever changing. Cool DJ Herc, he was known as the musical genius and the founder of hip hop music. He mastered the turntables. Today we have electronic turntables, so instead of having to change out the records and put in a different piece of music, you can just switch it over with the click of a button. However, back when turntables were first established, you had to use literally a record on there. You had to use a record to make the music. He created very complex rhythms in the music, which also gave way to the structure of hip hop music. He was originally from Jamaica, and the Jamaican music influenced his rhythms and his sounds to his hip hop music. So the first style I want to talk about is house. I think of house as more of the melting pot of hip hop. It's a couple of different styles integrated between one another. It's a couple styles mixed together. This originated in Chicago in the late 1970s. It is one of the original styles of hip hop. It is one of the first. It includes three different elements: footwork, jacking, and then lofting. So footwork would be any kind of complicated and intricate footing. Jacking is a lot of torso movements, and then lofting is jumping or any kind of elevation. I will show you a video and we'll see those three different forms in there. Many of the movements include a mix of styles from jazz, tap, salsa, Latin dance. It's, like I said, it's kind of a melting pot. It brings in a bunch of different forms together to create the movement. House can be a little bit more difficult to identify because of its melting pot form, because it has so many other forms included in it. Sometimes it can be a little bit difficult to identify. Eventually, house did evolve to include other styles of hip hop. So other forms of hip hop and other styles are included in house. Like I said, it's more of the melting pot. So here's a quick video. We won't watch the whole thing, but just a quick video. I'm going to skip forward a touch. So you can hear the complex rhythms in the music and the movements. There's some footwork there, intricate footworking. Torso movements are always being integrated in there. and then lots of different types of jumps here and there. I think house is pretty cool just because of its integrated forms of other hip hop dance. So you can watch the whole video in the PowerPoint, but you could see the intricate footwork that was going on within the movement, a lot of torso movement, and then also some jumping here and there. The next style I want to talk about is locking and popping. I really like this style. It was very hard for me to do, but I think it looks really cool when someone can actually perform locking. This is a funk and a street style of dance. I believe it developed in the 70s as well. We'll talk about Don Campbell. So Don Campbell actually is the founder of locking, and he actually founded it. He almost like accidentally discovered this style of movement because he could not do the robot. So the robot was really popular in the 70s, and he couldn't do it. So he accidentally basically created locking. There's a lot of wave like movements that move through the body, including the arms, the torso, the head. And then there's isolation, so moving just one body part at a time, isolating a specific body part. And then the identifying factor is the snapping movement of the muscles into a freeze. So the muscles literally snap and pop into a shape, and it's called a freeze. It's a brief moment. They don't actually freeze and stop there for like 3 seconds. It's a freeze. It's a pop. It's fast. It's very fast. You'll see that in the video as well. And it is very much performance based. This is a style that's meant to be performed. We'll see a battle. So this is going to be a locking battle. It's a battle between two different teams. Basically, they show off their moves, and then the audience members decide who did it better. Acrobatic movements are sometimes involved occasionally, depending on the dancer. So any kind of like flipping or dropping to the ground, something that's a little bit more full body but harder to do. Usually dancers will dress in a bright color, so you can see in the picture of the video, the dancers are in bright colors. They also dress in the 70s style, so they'll wear suspenders and maybe hats. Again, you'll see that in the video. And their pants, again, depending on the dancer, the flood pants, so which are the short pants. This one dancer here in the middle, he's wearing floods. You can actually see his ankles. That was a very popular fashion style in the 70s, including the bell bottoms. But locking dancers would actually wear floods. I think it was to show the footwork. So this is a really cool video. I really enjoy this. You can hear the funk style of the music as well. There's an acrobatic movement there. That was pretty cool. All right, let's see the second guy. So those little tiny popping movements, ooh, that was really cool. Those little tiny pops and holds for a brief second, that would be a freeze. Ooh, he's got lots of tricks up his sleeve. So it goes on for quite some time. Again, they just kind of go back and forth. One teammate goes, and then the other team goes, and then they switch back and forth a couple of times, each showing off their different moves. A lot of it is all improvised, especially in this. This is a cipher, well, or a battle. It's a battle, not a cipher. Sorry. So they're battling one another. And a lot of the battles are just completely improvised movements. Sometimes they might choreograph a little bit of movement here and there, but for the most part, it's all improvised. We'll talk more about battling and ciphers. So the next style is whacking. I love watching this too, but I cannot do whacking very well, like at all. It's very fast. So whacking was originally known as punking. This was the first name of it, and then it eventually changed names and became whacking. Whacking was established in 1974. The body moves in a very upright position. They do not usually go to the floor at all in whacking. It's very upright in a standing position. It's a lot of upper body movement as well. So you'll see that in the video. The women, when they perform whacking, usually they wear some sort of a heel or a dress, and the men will wear a jacket. It's a little bit more formal of a style. They dress a little bit more formally in whacking. Again, this is not always 100% either. You can wear whatever you want. But the style does include jazz aspects, which is, again, you'll see this in the video. And then it also includes some sort of poses. So they'll pose for a moment in whacking. And those poses they were inspired by celebrities from the 1930s. So from different images of celebrities, they would find these poses and they would incorporate that into their whacking routines. Again, many fast arm movements up in the upper body incorporated throughout whacking combinations. Again, it's very fast. So let's watch this video. You'll get a good sense of what whacking looks like. This girl's amazing. And she's dancing in heels. You might even see some jazz movements, like in the footwork. Very sassy. So again, you can watch the rest of the video in the PowerPoint. But I love watching whacking because it mesmerizes my eye. Like I can't fathom moving that fast with my arms. I did try this style when I was taking classes and when I was in college, and we did whacking, and I was not very good at it. Not very good. I was actually better at locking. All right, so let's move on to. All right, so we're going into breaking, otherwise known as b-boying and then b-girling. This is, I don't know if this is the oldest form of hip hop. I might have to give you guys a correction on that. I think popping and locking might be the oldest form, or they both originated around the same time. So I have to adjust a question on the quiz. But anyway, it originated in the 1970s in the Bronx by African and Latino Americans. So this is, again, in New York City, 1970s. This is why I believe it's the oldest, but it still might be locking and popping. I'm not 100% sure. I got to check dates on that. So there are 4 elements of breaking, and we'll see those elements when I show you this crazy video of the 6-year-old breakdancing. There's the top rock. Top rock is dancing anything on the feet in an upright position. Down rock is any kind of floor work. So floor work is incorporated throughout breaking. I think that's the hard part. Freeze. It's a momentary pose. So a moment when someone will freeze for a moment, and they might stay there for a second or two. And then there's the power move. So a power move is some kind of acrobatic movement. Usually it contains some sort of a spin, or like I said, some sort of acrobatic movement. So actually this image of the 6-year-old breakdancing, this is actually a freeze. She is in a freeze here. And this is also considered a power move. I believe she does the spins. So here is a crazy 6-year-old breakdancing, but it's a very good video of the top rock, down rock, freeze, and a power move. So I'll go through those as we watch the video. That's a power move right there. This is all down rock, floor work. I love this video so much. So this is all top rock. And here's some down rock. That's a power move. I'll show some adult breaking as well. There's the power move. That's a power move right there. Freeze. Anyway, again, you can watch the rest of the video, but even though she's 6 years old, she's including a top rock, down rock, freeze, and a power move. Very impressive. I did like breaking when I tried it. Again, it was very hard. I did like the floor work though. We did not learn how to spin on our heads, but we did learn the backspin, which was pretty fun. Okay, the last style that I'm going to talk about is tutting. This for me was, oh my gosh, I keep saying that they're all hard. They're all hard to do. Tutting involves a lot of angles. It was originally inspired by Egyptian art. So you'll see some like Egyptian like movements. If you've ever seen images of Egyptian art, you'll see that they create very similar images in their movements. So the limbs are usually in a 90-degree angle when they're tutting. And then also when they hit a movement, there's a brief moment where the muscles will flex, and this is considered a tut. It's similar to the locking and popping where the muscles will temporarily twitch almost and freeze. However, in tutting, there's a lot more angles. Angles are it's a big identifying factor of tutting. So here is a tutting battle. It looks a little bit robotic, and like almost like it's like a picture by picture, frame by frame movement. There's, like I said, there's a lot of this like twitching action happening. So here's the video. I think I know where the good ones are. So you can see it's all angles, the wrists, the elbows. All right, this guy, you can really see the, like that picture, like frame by frame movement. You can see a lot of the muscles flexing and taking a moment to freeze for a brief second. Let's see another dancer. This guy goes a little bit bigger. Oh. Let's watch one more guy. Oh, that was cool. The moonwalk thrown in there. Anyway, so that's tutting. Tutting identifying factor are the angles and the tuts, or the flexing of the muscles. So real quick, I want to touch on battles and ciphers. So battles and ciphers are kind of like their group get together competitions. So the battle is more of a competition. Again, it's a friendly competition. We're not like, hopefully we're not like getting mad at each other. It's usually between two dancers, or sometimes there will be a team. So like we saw in the popping locking video, those were like two teams. In the breaking video, those were just two individuals battling it out. So each dancer will take a turn performing. So we saw that the one dancer would go in the center, they would perform, the other dancers would be on the side. Sometimes there'll be like friendly competition, like taunting. So I'll show you an example of that in a video. But again, this is all just for fun. So the winner is sometimes, depending on the competition, is based on the audience applause. So whoever can get the biggest applause, that's kind of who wins the battle. So at the end of the battle, after each dancer has either taken 1 or 2 or 3 turns, equal turns, obviously, the person who's in charge of the competition or the battle will like raise their hand over one person, or have one person raise their hand, audience will clap, and then they'll do the same thing for the second one, and whoever gets the loudest applause actually wins. A cipher is not really a competition. Ciphers are more just like a chance for individuals to show off their hip hop movements. So I think I've talked a little bit about ciphers. I can't remember what it was when I was talking about it. I can't remember. Anyway, a cipher is a circle of people, and an individual will go into the center of the circle, do their performance. Excuse me. Do their performance, and then go back into the circle. So a cipher is a great place to try out some new moves, or to look at some of the other dancers and like get some new moves, something that you think looked really good. You could steal that move. Ciphers for, I'll touch on it in the rules. So anyway, ciphers are just kind of a fun way for people to show off new moves, have fun, All right, so there are rules. These are like unspoken rules to battles and ciphers. So the first rule is one person at a time. So please do, if you ever go to a cipher, if you ever battle someone, there is not more than one person on the dance floor at a time. The person needs their room, so let them have their room. Respect the circle. So for this, I mean that in the circle, the individuals in the center area of the circle, so like the first layer of the circle on the inside, are the ones who are going to participate. If you're just an observer, you actually don't want to be in the close center of the circle. You actually want to be farther back. So that way you do allow the dancers, the ability to just sneak into the circle when it's their turn. Dancers performing only. So again, that's the inside first layer of the circle. It's only the dancers, those who are going to go into the center of the circle for the cipher should be in the center layer of the circle. No one likes a drunk with a drink. So don't bring your drink on the floor. You don't want to dance on a sticky floor. So you are never supposed to bring a drink onto the dance floor when you are going into a cipher to dance. Share the center. So it's basically like, don't hog the center. Don't perform for like 5, 10, 15 minutes. No one wants to watch you that long. Like, go into the center, do your moves, you do your stuff, and then you leave. Same with the battle. So if you're in a battle, you go into the center, you do some of your movements, and then you let the other person have their turn. There's no real time limit on battles and ciphers. There's not like a set time, like, oh, you can only get 48 seconds in the center. Like, there's not really a rule. Don't touch anyone. So that's just a general rule for battles and ciphers. You don't normally ever touch the other person or people in the circle. You did see some of them do that in the videos. Again, that's not very common. You're not supposed to touch other people. And then please leave your chairs at home. What I mean by this is no props. So when you're going to a cipher, you don't take your prop with you. You're not taking your chair and being like, yeah, this is my prop. I'm going to use this in the center of the circle. No. You only get your body. You can only take your body into the center of the circle. That's it. There is an article on these cipher and battle rules on Blackboard. So if you want to read more into some of these rules, it's a fun article. It's good. So I'm going to show you a couple more videos. This is actually a video of my professor that I learned hip hop from. This is it's a friendly battle. You can see there's people around the outsides, very similar to a cipher, but this is a battle between two pairs. Yeah. This isn't my professor. I'll show you which one she is. Well, she's the other female. All right, so I'm going to fast forward a little bit. That's my professor. So that's like some friendly taunting. So that was just some friendly taunting that she had going on back and with the other dancer. So yeah, that was who I learned hip hop from. She was phenomenal, and I'm over here like, I can't move like that. So I have the next two videos are just some real basic hip hop movements and some vocabulary. All hip hop movements do have names, or most hip hop movements have names very similar to jazz. So here are a couple of movements and their names.
Fucking little homies.
Oh, please excuse the language. Oh, I'm so sorry. Yeah, we're gonna mute this music. I don't remember the music being that bad. Oh my goodness. Okay, anyway. So here are some movements. Let's find some other ones. Bow and arrow, funky chicken. They look like exactly what they're named. Patty Duke. I don't know if you've ever seen this one before. That's a very common movement. This one, the running man. This is also known as the reject. I think the running man goes forward. The roller skate. Oh, here we go. We got the Charleston. So this is a funky Charleston, very different from the Charleston in jazz, but it's the same idea. A-Town Stomp. It's kick, kick, jump, kick, kick, jump, kick, kick, jump. Oh, the jack and wave. So it's simply just a wave with the body, and you can slow it down, speed it up. I like this one. The creep. Kind of similar to Crazy Legs. A little similar to Crazy Legs. All right, so there's a bunch more you can watch on that. I'm going to go to the next video. So I think this is the same guy. This is Lock It Down. So these are some locking. I don't know how this music is. I hope it's not. Okay, I don't think they have words in this one. So you can learn some of these movements just by watching them, trying them. There's the wop. And you can play with all these movements too. You can do these movements up, down, both sides, different directions. Lock it down. This is a popular movement in actually locking and breaking. Here's a variation of it. So it's just changed a little bit, but it's the same base step. Superman, different from the Soldier Boy Superman. Oh, here we go. Here's the running man. So yeah, the running man goes forward. Compared to the reject, that one went backwards. Bart Simpson. Okay, I've never actually watched The Simpsons, so I don't know. Kickball change. That's actually also in jazz. Jazz movements do a kickball change a lot. I actually move a lot of these in my Zumba classes too. The walk it out, that's a pretty common movement. I could actually do that one. Harlem Shake. So again, you can watch the rest of these videos. You can try some of the movements. I think they're pretty simple. Watch them a couple of times, try them out. I think hip hop it's a fun form of dance. I'm just very bad at hip hop. I am not a very good hip hopper. Um, so that's a little bit about hip hop. If you have any questions, feel free to email me. Any questions you might have on hip hop or just in general. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video lecture. I know it was a weird class today, but enjoy the video, watch some of those videos, try some of the hip hop movements. They're a lot of fun. We don't have a hip hop lab. I'm sorry, I'm not doing a hip hop lab. So thank you all and have a wonderful rest of your day and the rest of your weekend. Stay safe, and I think it's going to be cold outside. So